My boyfriend recently moved to Scotland to go to university while I finished my last year of high school. It has been hard on our relationship because we are in separate countries. I live in Spain and he hasn't been able to install Wi-Fi for the first couple of weeks. Thus, just to keep the relationship going, sometimes we call each other despite how expensive it is. Usually we talk for around 15 minutes about unimportant stuff, but it helps reassure one another that we still, in fact, love each other. Last night, though, my boyfriend called me at 2 a.m. Here is a transcript of what I remember from the conversation. Keep in mind, our names are changed for anonymity. Uh, hey, Annie.
Hey, Johnny, how are you doing? It's pretty late. Can you not sleep?
Annie, I don't think you can imagine how eerie everything is here.
What do you mean?
At night, I mean, there's not a single sound to be heard in this small town. Sometimes you may hear the stupid rain or the settling of the house, but most of the time, the only thing you hear is absolute silence.
That sounds scary. Are you sure you're okay?
The worst part about it is, absolute silence makes every single sound that you hear that much more important. But of course, for the sake of sleeping, you choose to ignore it. Even if the sound makes no logical sense, it can only be interpreted as someone or something's footsteps, you still choose to ignore it. Then, slowly, the pressure of the absolute silence eats you from the inside, turning you into a nervous wreck. You become a bomb, Annie. And every single sound that you hear just gets you closer and closer to exploding. But still, you ignore it. You ignore the sounds and prevent your explosion because reason must prevail.
Johnny, please, you're scaring me. What are you talking about? Are you okay?
But that's the thing. You should be scared. That's the feeling that keeps us safe. It's the only goddamn rational feeling in our whole body. Everything else is just conjecture. We just dance around our senses and interpret them in a variety of ways, but they are the most objective way to view the world. Reality is taken in raw by our senses, and when we choose to twist them or interpret them, all we are doing is distorting reality to make it more comfortable. There is, however, one sense we don't do this with. You want to know what that sense is, Annie?
Johnny, please stop. You're scaring me and it's very late. I'm gonna hang up if you continue.
That's the sense of sight. Once we see something, we obviously can't ignore it. Of course, if we see something creep out of the corner of our vision, then we might ignore it. We might choose to distort reality once more and convince ourselves that we are safe. Are we, though? Really safe?
I'm hanging up.
Let me cut to the chase, Annie. I've been hearing the floor creak all night. You tell yourself that it's the house settling or some other load of bullshit, but it's not. There's only one reason the floor creaks, and that is because someone is putting pressure on the floorboards. Ignore it, though. Ignore it and go to sleep. Pretend like everything's alright. Distort reality, they say. It'll do you good, they say. Fuckers. Even when I saw a shadow from the hallway, I ignored it. I assumed it was a goddamn tree branch or some shit from the window. My window was covered, though, and there are no windows in the goddamn hallway. But of course, sometimes we even ignore reason to acquire that sense of comfort we all long for. Sometimes we just ignore every single alarm that has been set off in our body, all the defense mechanisms we have, because we can't be the ones. Out of all the people in the world, we aren't the one to be picked as a victim. We are safe. Someone else might be in danger, but you can't be the unlucky one, can you? You are safe and sound in your house.
Is someone there with you? Are you hurt? Should I call the police?
No, no. I'm staring into its eyes as it stares into mine. Its fucking blank eyes. It's watching me, Annie, as I make this fucking call, as if enjoying the fear it creates within me. I think it enjoys watching me acknowledge my own failure. It likes to see me suffer emotionally before I do so physically.
Please stop. If this is a joke, it's a very cruel one. Please stop. Please. I love you.
I love you too. I love you so much. My 15 minutes are up though, and I think this thing knows it. I have to hang up. Remember, don't distort reality. Sounds aren't created randomly. Someone creates them. Shadows aren't randomly made. There is an object making them. You don't see things moving in the darkness because you're hallucinating. You're just witnessing reality. Don't detach yourself from reality. Live it. Be safe, and goodbye. Despite my screaming, he shut off the call immediately afterwards. I have not heard from him since. It's been a whole day. I don't know if he was being sound or if he had gone mad, but I've started to pay closer attention at night. Just in case, you know. In the off chance that the sounds I hear aren't just the house settling like he said. I think Johnny would have wanted others to heed his warning as well.